Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It's Monday, May the 4th. I'm Andrew Gagan. Well, the local market is set to open lower to begin the week, with ASX futures down around 0.25% as the prospect of further interest rate increases drags on investor sentiment. Global equities steadied on Friday, while most major European markets were closed for holidays amid ongoing uncertainty about an end to the war in the Middle East. On Wall Street, the S&P 500 and Nasdaq advanced to record closing highs, boosted by robust earnings and a dip in crude prices. And both indices locking their sixth consecutive weekly advances, the longest run of weekly gains since October 2024. Analysts now seeing aggregate first earnings growth of close to 28% year on year, according to LSEG data. Well, stocks, specifically Apple shares, advanced after the company provided a solid sales forecast, touting strong demand for its iPhone 17 and the MacBook Neo. Among the other Mag 7 stocks, Nvidia and Meta slipped, and Alphabet rose further and has rapidly closed the gap with Nvidia's $4.8 trillion market cap, ending the week at $4.66 trillion. Software companies climbed after Atlassian lifted its annual forecast, the enterprise software maker surging almost 30%. Salesforce and ServiceNow also rising. Roblox fell more than 18% following a cut in its annual bookings forecast, while Reddit jumped after an upbeat quarterly revenue forecast. Among the oil majors, ExxonMobil's quarterly profit was hit by Middle East disruptions, while Chevron beat earning expectations but booked its lowest profit in 5 years. Well, President Trump has said an Iranian proposal to end the war within 30 days was not acceptable because, he said, they have not yet paid a big enough price for what they have done to humanity and the world over the last 47 years. Well, Iranian media said the regime's 14-point proposal includes withdrawing US forces from nearby areas, lifting the blockade, releasing frozen assets, paying compensation, lifting sanctions, ending the war on all fronts, including Lebanon, and creating a new control mechanism for the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump has subsequently said an operation to escort neutral merchant ships out of the Persian Gulf will begin today. But a proposal to delay talks on nuclear issues until a later phase appears to be the biggest source of disagreement. Meanwhile, the US has confirmed it will withdraw 5,000 troops from Germany over the next 6 to 12 months. And the Trump administration has lifted tariffs on EU-made cars and trucks from 15% to 25%, citing alleged non-compliance with the existing trade agreement. Well, the US two-year Treasury yield was close to 3.9% on Friday, the 10-year at 4.4%. Australian three-year government bond yields range between 4.68 and 4.74, while the 10-year fell around 5.03%. Markets pricing in a 75% chance the RBA cash rate will be hiked by 25 basis points at tomorrow's meeting, and 100% chance by June. The US dollar index was up slightly on Friday. The Aussie has risen to 72.1 US cents. An Iranian proposal on negotiations with the US sent crude oil futures sharply lower on Friday before rebounding, with Iran still blocking the Strait of Hormuz and the US Navy blocking exports of Iranian crude. Brent crude futures for July settling at $108 a barrel. Gold reversed losses on Friday on hopes for a breakthrough to the end of the war. Spot gold at around $4,610 an ounce. Copper was little changed. Iron ore at 110 US a tonne. And Bitcoin is trading close to 79,000 US dollars. We'll head locally this week. Today we get ANZ job ads for April as well as March building approvals. Tomorrow we get household spending data for March, but the focus will be on the RBA interest rate decision, with expectations that the cash rate will be lifted to 4.35%. Thursday we get the March trade balance. Overseas, today is a public holiday for China, Japan and the UK. Tuesday sees job openings for March and the trade balance. Thursday, the March quarter non-farm productivity in the US is released, followed by payrolls and jobs numbers on Friday. On the corporate calendar this week, this morning NAB has reported interim cash earnings that are flat compared to the first half of last year at $3.59 billion, just below consensus expectations. Tomorrow, Westpac reports, Amcor and Rio hold AGMs on Wednesday. Orica and Light & Wonder post results on Thursday, and on Friday we'll hear from Macquarie Group, QBE, News Corp and REA, while QBE and TPG will hold AGMs. That is your day ahead. We'll see you again tomorrow.